Good afternoon, church. It's good to see you again. I know that we are living in a very unprecedented time as we deal with this coronavirus, but given the fact that it's Wednesdays and I usually have the opportunity to talk to you Wednesday night when we gather together for family night supper, I thought it might be good to share a little update with what's happening in this situation and what's happening in our church as we manage to try to cope with the coronavirus. I do want to let you know that we have been following the advice of our state and local authorities, as well as the advice of our bishop and cabinet, and we are not going to have in-person services until at least Palm Sunday, until after Palm Sunday, I should say. Easter may possibly be the first time we are able to get back together, but that depends on the situation. I know that's not ideal and that's not what everyone wants. That's not what we're used to when it comes to worshiping together. But we can still be together as we do the live streaming services and as you have the opportunity to join us for those services. In the meantime, while we're not able to meet, I would encourage you to do whatever you can to reach out to one another, to call one another, talk to one another, check on each other. As we go through this time. A lot of people are experiencing stress and anxiety, and we can share the love of Christ as we share with each other. I also want to remind you to be in prayer for one another, to be in prayer for this situation. We know as a church how many times we have seen God answer prayers, and I believe that He can still answer prayers in this situation that we're dealing with right now. So make sure that you are in prayer. Spend the time that you have with your family, growing together, growing in your faith. It's not just the opportunity that parents have to homeschool now, but it's also the opportunity that we have as parents to step up as the spiritual leaders of our house and to grow together in our faith, since we don't have all the activities at church to help us. So I just encourage you to enjoy the time that you have with your family. Enjoy the time that you have away from the crowds and the noise of society, and just spend more time listening to God. I also want to remind you that even during this time where we're not having services, we still have the needs of the church. So if you have any offerings that you'd like to make to the church, any tithes and offerings that you'd like to give, please send them to the church. It's P.O. Box 5508 here in McRae, and we would certainly appreciate that during this difficult time. Well, one other thing that I was going to let you know as well is if any of you have any need for help, if you need someone to run errands for you, if you need someone to go out in public and you're not able to because you're worried about the coronavirus, give me a call and we will have someone from the church who can come by and help you out. We have had people volunteer their time, volunteer their ability to get out to help those of you who aren't able to do that right now. So if you need that, please give me a call or call the church office, and we will have someone from the church that can help you out. Well, tonight I wanted to share with you just a brief thought out of Scripture. The words of Jesus in John chapter 14 have been running through my mind, as I know they have been for many people. John chapter 14 is part of the story of John's Gospel where Jesus is preparing his disciples for the cross. And as we get closer and closer to Good Friday, I think it's appropriate that we look at some of those words. In John 14, verse 27, Jesus says, "My peace I give to you. I do not give as the world gives." In other words, he doesn't give it and then take it away again. He gives it to us, and it's a gift that abides with us. So, "My peace I give to you," he says, "I do not give as the world gives." So he says, "Do not let your hearts be troubled, and don't let them be afraid." I find it's interesting that Jesus phrases that, "Don't let your hearts be troubled, and don't let them be afraid." In other words, there is a cooperation that needs to happen if we are going to be worried and if we're going to be anxious and fearful. There's a cooperation that happens, the attack from the outside, we have to cooperate with it in order for it to control us. So Jesus says, don't let that happen. Don't let the anxiety control you. Don't let the fear control you. Instead, he offers us his peace. And that's something that we have to cooperate with as well. That we choose to work along with the peace. We choose to believe in the peace. We choose to trust in what Jesus has done for us. We choose to trust in who he is, that he has overcome this world. And when we do that, we receive that peace that Jesus has for us. So I wanted to share that with you tonight and just encourage you to receive the peace that Christ can offer you. Receive the peace that he wants to speak into the midst of this situation. Pray for his grace. Pray for his healing. Pray for his comfort in your life. And know that he is the God who hears and answers prayers. And he is the God who walks with us, even in the midst of the coronavirus. So I'll do my best to keep you updated as we go along through this. And as we continue to have our online services, we're going to be trying to offer online Sunday school classes, live streamed as well. If anyone would like to do an online, a Facebook Live Sunday school class, that is an option that we can do through our church Facebook page as well. So let me know if there's ways in which you want to reach out as we just continue to explore the possibilities and options that are in front of us right now. Be in prayer, and I will talk with you again soon. God bless.